Usually on Fridays, I just post something resembling a vlog. But a couple of weeks ago, instead of publishing a vlog, I published a small short film. I really enjoyed doing that film and the whole process of actually creating it. So I guess that on today's video, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the behind the scenes process of creating my short film, Airplanes. The whole idea for Airplanes came to me one day after researching the news that said that Google was gonna launch their Project Loon balloons here in the island to do some testing. I did some research, and those balloons usually fly around 60,000 feet up in the air. So then I started to wonder, what's the altitude where airplanes usually fly? Naturally, that's something that can be answered fairly quickly with a Google search. So one night I was having dinner and my instinct was to pick up my phone and ask Siri. And of course, Siri, being the useless special internet AI assistant that it is, started giving me, search results and bogus answers that did not relate to the information I was inquiring about. So I got a little frustrated with it, and I closed it and I opened up the Google application. So I asked Google now, what's the altitude where airplanes usually fly? And it came up with the answer, 35,000 feet, right there and then, and spoke it to me. And that's where the premise for Airplanes was born. What's the best digital assistant? Google Now or Siri? So after coming up with the premise, I naturally thought, well, I should do a video about this. But something kept telling me that I should not go the normal route that I do, which is like vlogs, and maybe try to do something different this time. So for the next couple of days, I kept thinking about what should I do. And one day I was browsing Twitter and saw a picture of Charlie Chaplin. And then it hit me. I should do a silent movie type of short film using the premise. But there was a problem. I've never done anything like this before, in my channel or elsewhere. To be able to achieve the look that I wanted, I had to study up on classic short films of the silent movie type of genre. So naturally I went to YouTube and searched for some, and I watched a bunch of them to, get an idea of how this type of movies were structured. Then I had to create a little demo so that I could practice and see if I could get the technique working as I wanted to. Now I have not shown this footage or this short film to anybody, so you guys are the first ones seeing it. So check it out. This is called Parcels. So that was Parcels, a little really small short film that I did to test out some of the techniques that later on I was going to be using on Airplanes. Now Airplanes, it's from the get-go I knew it was not going to be a vlog, so I couldn't just take the camera and start shooting at random. I had to be a little bit more organized and organize the shots and all the stuff that I needed to be able to tell the story that I wanted. So for that, I actually sat down and wrote a script. This is the script for airplanes. It's like a 7-page long script that basically details shot by shot what's gonna be shown on screen. It has details on title cards and details on visual effects. So, I mean, for anyone that might be interested to actually reading through it and see how I organize the shots, I'm going to link down below a PDF, a copy of the PDF of the document. So, I mean, if you're interested, you can go check that out. Also, airplanes had like two major, well, not major, but two visual effect shots. And I want to quickly run you through what were they and how did I accomplish those shots. So to get the airplane through telescope effect, I basically did this effect using Apple Motion. For this, I got an image of an airplane, and on Photoshop I took out the parts of the sky that I didn't want, and I left a nice and smooth border so I could basically blend it with image from the blue sky, which I added on Motion. Then of course I added the airplane where I wanted it and at the scale that I wanted it, and I wanted to portray motion. So what I did is I added some contrails, which are the the little particles of smoke that come out of the airplane's engines when it's flying through the atmosphere. And to also further sell the effect, I added some clouds, some moving clouds. So all of these effects combined basically amount to this file that, if I play it back, you can see the contrails moving and the clouds moving as the airplane flies through it. And to achieve the effect in Final Cut, I had to do a couple of things. One is to actually add the telescope mask that makes it look like I'm looking at the airplane through a telescope, and some other stuff. So for example, if I play back what I have right now, you should be able to see the video as it came out on the movie. So it's just like moving around, and then it goes back to me. But I had to add to be able to sell the effect. I had to add a little bit of handheld effect. So if I take this out and I play back the clip, the airplane is just like sitting there. And you know that when you look through a telescope or a binoculars, well, the things are always like moving around because you are moving around. So I added that handheld filter, so the actual video that's below the telescope mask moves a little bit and sells the effect. Also, I did some color correction and added some film grain so that it matches the look of the rest of the video. So that was how I did the effect for the telescope. For the binoculars, it's pretty much the same thing. You just scale down the original image a little bit, and maybe the clouds in the sky, change it up a little bit so it looks like a different shot, but it's pretty much the same thing. Now on the effect, it shows like a pretty much like a sunny clear day, but in reality the day that I shot this, it was like cloudy as hell, and for a minute or a couple of minutes while I was shooting, I had to stop because like heavy rainfall started falling. That's part of the problems of living in a tropical island. The weather is whack. It's like super sunny one moment, and the next moment, like there's like a storm coming. So basically, that's what happened that day. The day started out super nice and sunny, and in the middle of shooting, it pretty much turned out like it is right now. Super cloudy and like raining. It's been raining today. It's been like raining all day. It's all like super wet. So I had to fix all that with like color correction and using some other types of technique to maybe get the image in a consistent like colors and consistent brightness and contrast. It was a struggle, like really struggling. For the color corrections, I did a couple things, made the image a little bit bluer, added some film grain. You can see here, this is the shot that made it. If I take out all the effects, see it's much of warmer tones. If I re-add it, it's more of blue hues. If I change the shot here, you can see it more clearly. See, this is the original. This is the one with the grading. Original, grading. So I did tweak the images a little bit more to make them have, I don't know, I guess it's the Instagram look, I guess. But I'm really satisfied with what came out. So not everything was like peaches and cream. Of course, I ran into some issues. For example, the video or the movie was shot using this DSLR camera, and I usually use my iPhone to shoot all my vlogs. So me being a one-person production team had to figure out all these settings on the camera, being able to pull focus, to adjust the exposure, and all the complicated settings that come with using a DSLR for filming. But I mean, even though all those little problems came at the time of production, I enjoyed all of it. I enjoyed doing the script. I enjoyed sitting down and thinking about the concept. I enjoyed post-production. I really enjoyed doing this whole short film thing, and I hope I can do it again soon, because I think this kind of production, and to me, is more fun than just making like weekly vlogs about, you know, inconsequential things that I might do during the day. So anyways, I just wanted to create this little video to explain to everybody some of the aspects and things that I encountered while creating this little short film. I hope, I mean, maybe you learned something. If I left something out, obviously all the links are down below. So if you have not seen the video, go ahead and see it. So if I left anything out that you might want me to explain to you, like how do I did this and what about this other thing, just leave a comment down below, and as soon as I'll see it, I'll go ahead and answer it the best way that I can. So anyways, thank you for watching. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.